We're here to bring a new type of news show.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every day.
We're News Generation.
Bringing news just for you. It's Tuesday, June 24th here in Seoul. I'm Lee Soo-jin, and this is News Generation. Joining us today is Kwon Ju-yeon.
Good morning, Soo-jin.
Good morning to you, and In-sang Yeon.
Hey, good to be back.
Good to have you. And both are here to speak on behalf of people in their 20s and 30s. It's Tuesday, which means that we're going to begin with our keyword news, where we focus on a story that is gaining traction. Today's keyword is K-brand value. Big Bang's G-Dragon has topped the Korea Brand Reputation Index's individual male K-pop idol category. The ranking, which was released on Monday, is based on analysis of media coverage, consumer engagement, and online activity of more than 700 male K-pop idols over a one-month period starting May 21st. Following G-Dragon on the list were BTS's Jimin, EXO's Baekhyun, and BTS's Jungkook, with Astro's Taehoon rounding out the top 5. So, Sang-yeon, what do you think makes a K-pop idol's brand power stand out the most? Is it talent, personality, social media presence, or something more?
Well, I think definitely social media played a crucial role in appealing the Korean K-pop industry market to the global stage. And I've heard that the reason why BTS was able to gain popularity in the American market was also thanks to their interaction on social media with the fans. So an idol with high engagement on platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube can instantly shift trends. Think of Blackpink's Jennie or BTS members. And fashion brands use idols' accounts as direct marketing tools to global consumers. And I also think the unique and beautiful aesthetics and styles of K-pop idols appeal to global fans as well. And this is especially important for luxury brands because idols like Jisoo or Chaehoon, they became top-tier luxury ambassadors largely due to their visual impact and their style influence to younger markets.
Right, so you mentioned luxury brands, and I found it really interesting how a lot of luxury brands are now, investing in signing and designating ambassadors even before these idols reach peak popularity, and that's, I guess, because they recognize how they have such a dedicated fan base as well. Do you have anything to add to this?
Well, I couldn't agree more with what Sang-yeon mentioned. I reckon a K-pop idol's influence truly stands out when they combine their skill, charm, and a strong online connection with their fans. It's not just about their performance on stage, but about building a meaningful presence. Their words, actions, and even small gestures can leave a lasting impact on people across the world. And when they stay true to themselves while inspiring others, that's when real brand power is born. And when fans feel seen and inspired, the impact grows. One day, I'd love to be part of these wave and maybe even seeing our news gen lead the chart soon. Yes.
Hopefully.
Yes. And right, it really shows how K-pop idols are not just shaping the music scene, but also the culture scene. And like you said, maybe one day we'll be talking about how news gen is topping the brand charts too on our keyword news. And that concludes our keyword news for this Tuesday. So we're going to have a discussion today about one of the most historical cities in Korea, once the capital of an ancient kingdom. Let's take a look at the screen to see what today's main topic is. The city of Gyeongju, located in the southeastern part of South Korea, holds historical significance as the former capital of Shinla, an ancient kingdom that unified much of the Korean peninsula. Renowned for its well-preserved royal tombs, centuries-old temples, and cultural relics, Gyeongju is the perfect place to explore Korea's rich heritage. And the historical city is also expected to draw international attention later this year when it hosts the annual meeting of the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum. So today we're going to talk about the historical city of Gyeongju, as we just saw in our VCR, which is a host of the 2025 Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum, also known as APEC. To begin our discussion today, Ju-yeon, what comes to mind when you think of Gyeongju?
Well, when I think of Gyeongju, it reminds me of my field trip back in the days in high school. Well, back then we took a long train ride and all I saw were stones and ruins. But at the time, I probably just wasn't old enough or smart enough to appreciate all those relics. And, but now I know we see only as much as we understand. I'm pretty sure that if I went back now, I will see it in a whole new light. And thanks to my kids these days, I am studying Korean Korean history again, since Gyeongju is a UNESCO World Cultural Heritage Site. I truly hope to take them there one day.
So what my friend and I do is we make a bucket list of things, or places we want to visit, and Gyeongju is actually on our list. So I'm really interested to learn more about what you guys' experience on this. So what about you, Sang-hyuk? Have you been to Gyeongju?
Well, just like Juyeon, I've also went to Gyeongju for my field trip back in the days when I was in high school. And I believe if you went to schools in Korea, the obvious field trip destinations would be either Gyeongju or Jeju Island. But it turns out that recently Gyeongju is now becoming a trendy photo spot for the MZ generations. So because Gyeongju has a lot of great sightseeing landmarks and also with a trendy atmosphere, cafes or restaurants, so it's also gaining a reputation for a new historical spots where the MZers can actually take photos and post on their social media.
Right, I think I have also heard of Hwangridan-gil, it's known for its traditional Hanok cafes, which is why it's popular. So as the host city of this year's APEC, Gyeongju is garnering renewed interest. Juyeon, could you tell us more about the city and what makes it unique?
Of course, of course. Well, there are lots of things to look around at Gyeongju. Gyeongju is a historic city in the southeast of Korea in Gyeongsang-buk-do province. It was the capital of the Shilla Kingdom for 992 years, and it is filled with treasures and relics from over 1,000 years ago, and it is often called a open-air museum full of, relics. Its most famous sites are Bulguksa Temple and the Seokguram Grotto, which are the Korea's first UNESCO World Heritage sites. That is, it was actually listed in 1995. And there is Seokguram Grotto. It symbolizes the moment Buddha reached true understanding, while Bulguksa Temple represents paradise on earth. Their advanced scientific knowledge and wisdom, very impressive indeed, even by today's standards. It can be felt in every single stone. And there's also Cheonseongdae Observatory. It is a national treasure number 31. It is the oldest surviving observatory in East Asia. It was built of stone in order to track the stars and guide farming and state affairs. In Gyeongju, even silent stones echo with history. And those stories aren't just from the past. Many people still keep those traditional rituals alive today. As the ancestral home of Shilla's royal families, Gyeongju is truly a city where you can still feel the spirit of history. Well, in fact, one of my friends, he still wears hanbok with those kad for family rituals, 제사 in Korean. It is indeed a proof that the tradition is still alive.
I think it's always really interesting to hear how the tradition is still alive. So does your friend go back to Gyeongju often?
Yes, 4 times a year.
And he wears all the
traditional cat head and also the hanbok as well.
That's very interesting. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, so Gyeongju is definitely a city where it embodies the splendor of the old dynasty, the Shilla Kingdom, but it also offers many trendy spots as well. So like Sujin, you mentioned, Hwangridan Street is a place where the past and present coexist with traditional Hanok buildings lined with cafes, restaurants and photo studios, as you can see here on the screen. And it's also a great place to buy souvenirs, as many products reinterpret crafts from old days with a modern touch. And near Cheonseongdae Observatory, there's a place called Donggung Palace and Ulji Pond, formerly known as Anapji. It was once a secondary palace where Shilla princes resided and where banquets were held to entertain the guests or celebrate national events, giving a glimpse into its formal glory. And while the daytime view is impressive, you gotta visit there during the nighttime. Both spots are popular photo locations among the MZ generation, especially during the night when the lightings come up.
So this is another plug for Hwangridan-gil, because I heard it's also close to the observatory and the royal tomb, so that could be another reason why travelers want to check that out. So to find out more about what makes Gyeongju special from a foreigner's perspective, we'll be speaking with a millennial traveler from the Philippines who will share his personal experience exploring the city. And that's coming up after the break, so stay tuned.
NewsGen wants to hear from you. Go to YouTube and search our channel Arirang News. click community and leave a comment down below. Make a new type of news with us.
Joining us today is Dave, a content creator from the Philippines. Hi, Dave.
Hello, annyeonghaseyo. Good morning.
안녕하세요.
감사합니다. Thank you for inviting me today.
Thank you for coming, joining us today. So I hear you were recently appointed as an ambassador by the Creators organization, so congratulations on that.
Thank you so much. Yes, so I was there last week and we were awarded as ambassador of Korea by the Creatorism organization because of our passion in Korean culture, our passion in discovering its history and traditions.
Right, so I guess this makes you the perfect person to ask. So when did you visit Gyeongju? And was there a particular place that stood out to you? And if so, what made it memorable?
I visited Gyeongju 10 days ago. So it was exactly 10 days ago, June 14. And it felt surreal to be in a city, in the oldest city in Korea, which is more than 1,000 years old. And apparently it's one of the few millennium cities in the world. And the whole place was actually a whole standout to me. But the thing that fascinated me most were the royal tombs. The royal tombs or the burial mounds, which look like hills. It was my first time seeing remarkable historical assets such as this in the middle of the city. And apparently, these were owned by the nobility from the Shilla dynasty, where they buried crowns, jewelry, among others. And even bodies were buried in the tombs. So it was just so fascinating to see ancient treasures which are reflection of the country's rich history and soul. It's something that I haven't seen anywhere else.
I see. I'm sure that you have visited Seoul before since you're the ambassador. Well, Dave, how would you say Gyeongju is different from Seoul in terms of culture, history, or overall atmosphere?
Yeah, it's so different. Being in Gyeongju felt like I was traveling back in time, like anywhere in Gyeongju. It's way more different. It's way different from Seoul. It's laid back, and I haven't seen any high-rise buildings during my stay there. Apparently, it's not allowed to build, I asked my tour guide, it's not allowed to build tall buildings to preserve the ancient city. So walking in the streets of the city, especially in Hanbok, felt like a walk in the past. And apparently, it's also called as the museum without walls, right? Because of the so many archaeological treasures that you can find in the entire city that have been found throughout the city. And one interesting story that our tour guide told me, a construction of a building was once stopped because the workers started digging. When the workers started digging, they uncovered artifacts. So I felt like anytime I dig in Gyeongju, I can just find treasures, like anytime. But of course, we can't do that.
Okay. Dave, then for foreign visitors planning to trip to Gyeongju, do you have any recommendations on transportation, local food, or must-see attractions?
Yeah. I was there on a familiarization program or trip by the Creatorism organization. So I was there on a tour. And I think if you will travel to Busan, it would be 1 hour away from Gyeongju, and it would be nice to have an overnight there because it's just stunning at night. So it's the most beautiful I feel at night. I was stunned by the beauty of Donggung Palace, Wolji Pond, and the Woljongyo Bridge, which are all from the Shilla dynasty. Okay, so these are places that reflect the Shilla's rich history and engineering prowess, and are extremely breathtaking when illuminated at night. It's just so Instagrammable. So my friends and I created so many reels and took so many photos that we can post on TikTok and Instagram. So the picturesque reflections of the ancient bridge and palace shimmering on the water at dusk or at night, these are truly highlight of Gyeongju's nightlight charm. And apparently the bridge, the Wolgyeongyo Bridge, it's a filming spot of my favorite K-drama, Under the Queen's Umbrella. And of course, I watched The King's Eternal Monarch. So it's also a K-drama dream to be in those places.
So thank you so much for also sharing the clips that you shot. I felt like I was with you walking through those historical sites.
Of course, you're welcome.
So thank you for also sharing your insight today, and we hope to see you soon again.
Thank you.
So we just heard from a content creator from the Philippines who shared his perspective on what makes Gyeongju a memorable destination. Now, shifting gears a bit, let's gain a better understanding of what visitors find most appealing about Gyeongju. So we conducted a poll on the Arirang News YouTube channel where we asked our viewers what excites you the most about visiting Gyeongju. And here are the answers we got. A majority of respondents, 62%, point to its heritage sites and historical landmarks as the main attraction. This was followed by 22% who said they are interested in exploring the city's natural scenery, and 16% said they are most interested in experiencing the local food. So we just looked at a poll that showed what visitors found most exciting about Gyeongju. It was its heritage sites and historical landmarks. So let's now turn attention to another unique aspect of Gyeongju, its role as a popular filming location that we also talked about in our Zoom interview just now. So Juyeon, were there any well-known dramas or films that were filmed in or set against this historical backdrop?
Yes, there are two well-known dramas, K-dramas filmed in Gyeongju. I would like to mention the first one, drama Hwarang, which was BTS V's acting debut alongside Park Seo-joon, Hwara, and Park Hyung-sik. They were all filmed in Gyeongju, and set in the Silla dynasty. FYI, our very own Park Gi-hoon was also in this drama, Hwarang. You'll see him riding through the ancient city with Park Seo-joon amid Gyeongju's historic corridors and beautiful temples, which is a powerful way to experience Shilla's legacy while learning its history in depth. Though another must-see is the great Queen Seondeok Yewang that Sujin loves. It is based on Korea's first ever reigning queen, also a Shilla era figure. Both dramas were shot in Gyeongju, so if you'd like to see its beauty on screen, they are perfect picks. The ancient palaces, traditional rooftops, and timeless landscapes make it the perfect backdrop for historical stories. And you recognize Gyeongju's charm the moment the camera pans across its golden fields and stone relics. So give it a try.
Like you said, that drama Seondeok Yewang is one of my favorite dramas, partly because of its famous lines such as "No one can bring you down but yourself." But besides those great lines, it's also really the historical backdrop of it, so we can see the ancient palaces or the temples that really add to and play a huge role in the show itself. So besides visiting the historical sites, what are some other fun activities or experiences people can enjoy in Gyeongju?
Well, you have lots of things to enjoy in Gyeongju. In fact, no trip is complete without good food. Gyeongju is one of Korea's top producers of premium Korean beef, so you can enjoy high-quality hanwoo at great value. And Gyeongju has long been rich in grains, wild herbs, and seafood, a land of fine ingredients. And there is a local cuisine known as Gyeolcheban. It brings Gyeongju's flavors to life using regional fresh local ingredients, and there is some inspired by Cheomseongdae, Shilla's oldest observatory. Its name reflects the city's past, present, and future, all served on one plate. And I would like to mention this food, local favorites. It is Yukbucheon Yukbucheon, 6 clans village in English. It is named after the 6 founding clans of Shilla. Their last names were Kim Lee, Chebe, Chong, Son. These 6 family names trace back to the original 6 clans of Shilla. And there is another one, Gondalbi bibimbap, flatfish with fruit sauce and roasted sweet pumpkin and abalone vinegar dishes. It's a city where history feeds the soul and your stomach at the same time. You'll be full.
Right, hearing you talk about all these food and seeing the footage of it is making me really hungry.
Really?
Hopefully the audio's not going to pick up on my stomach growling. Anyway, so do you have any other suggestions, Sangyeon?
Yeah, so we've mentioned food, the K-pop, or the K-drama, the settings as well, and you can also enjoy Gyeongju with enjoying the historical sites. And as we mentioned at the beginning of today's episode, Sujin mentioned that the 2025 APEC summit is being currently held in Gyeongju, so I believe that many foreign tourists will visit Gyeongju at the second half of this year, and I believe by the time it will be covered with a beautiful autumn foliage, fall with maple leaves as well. So currently the landscape of the Pomun Tourist Complex, which is located at the central Gyeongju, is undergoing a major revamp to prepare for the upcoming tourist inflow. And also, visitors can enjoy a beautiful journey as they walk through the Hwangridan Street. And you know what, since it's like only 30 minutes to an hour from Busan, so I believe that the visitors can visit both cities, both Busan and Gyeongju, and which will double the joy.
Really, that does sound there's a lot to do. So it also sounds whether you're a history buff or a K-drama fan or just someone looking for beautiful places to explore, Gyeongju really has something for everyone. And with APEC coming up at the end of October, it looks like visitors from all around the world will also be able to find something that they can enjoy and appreciate in Gyeongju. And that's all we have for this episode of News Generation, but News Gen will be back tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Korea time. A big thanks to Chiyeon.
Have a lovely day, Sejin.
You and Sangyeong
Thanks for having me.
for joining us today. And to all our viewers, thank you so much for watching, and we hope you have the best day. We are
News Generation.